Kaboom! Teach them! Always make sure the message reach them!
Live from Kingston, Jamaica, broadcasting around the world. Around the world. You're watching the Teach Them YouTube show. Intellectual, yet stimulating. Fair, frank, and factual. And now,
broadcasting live.
We will broadcast live.
Live. This is Extra Class, streaming to the world and beyond.
Hey, let's go.
You know, it's Teach Them, the #1 intellectual blogging panel on the YouTube channel.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning to my Caribbean brothers and sisters out in the Windward Islands, Barbados, Trinidad likewise. I am assuming now that for the past few hours there has been deteriorating weather conditions. I hope that, families, friends, colleagues, loved ones of the people who are watching from that side, if you are able to still watch, you guys have made the proper preparations. The people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines in Grenada will be the island that will be most directly impacted, and some of the Grenadines islands. When you look where the system currently is and you look where the eye wall is and its approach, it's not looking good. I'll treat with the Jamaica context shortly, but last night, late into the night, the system was category 4 yesterday evening into last night. There was an eye wall replacement cycle, or we also call it a concentric cycle or a concentric eye wall cycle. So this is where another area within the system starts to develop eye wall characteristics, and it's basically start to compete with the original eye wall, and it's slow, so it normally starts further out in the system and migrates into the system, and it basically absorbs the original eye wall. So you call it an eye wall replacement cycle. Now, during the eye wall replacement cycle, as the newer eye wall approaches the older one, it starts to compress and contract the area, robbing the original center of all the moisture that it had. So the system will naturally weaken until the approaching eye wall replace the original one, and the system reorganizes and re-strengthens. So the during the eye wall replacement cycle, the intensity of the storm weakened for a bit. I think it went down to category 3, but after the eye wall replacement cycle, it was upgraded again to a strong category 4 hurricane. A category 4 hurricane is a major hurricane, and it is not to be taken lightly. So let's have a look at what is going on out in the Windward Islands. I'll play a clip from the weather center, and then we'll look at some graphs and stuff, and then we'll get into the Jamaican context. I want to be most.
There's a force within all of us.
Alright, I could make some money, because we are using them thing.
Hunters have found that major Hurricane Beryl has strengthened back to a Category 4 hurricane, producing maximum sustained winds of 130 miles per hour. Beryl is approaching the Windward Islands, and life-threatening winds and storm surge are expected to begin this morning. Watches and warnings extend from Barbados all the way to the Dominican Republic and Haiti. The latest forecast shows Beryl weakening a little bit by the end of the week as it moves into an area of higher wind shear. However, it is still expected to remain a dangerous hurricane as it approaches the Yucatan Peninsula by Friday. Latest computer models have Beryl potentially moving into the Gulf of Mexico this weekend, but it is too early to know if Beryl will impact the U.S. at this time. Hurricane hunters have found that major Hurricane Beryl has strengthened back to a Category 4 hurricane, producing maximum sustained winds of 130 miles per hour. Beryl is approaching the Windward Islands, and life-threatening winds and storm surge are expected to begin this morning. Watches and warnings extend from Barbados all the way to the Dominican Republic and Haiti. The latest forecast shows Beryl weakening a little bit by the end of the week as it moves into an area of higher wind shear. However, it is still expected to remain a dangerous hurricane as it approaches the Yucatan Peninsula by Friday. Latest computer models have Beryl potentially moving into the Gulf of Mexico this weekend, but it is too early to know if Beryl will impact the U.S. at this time.
Okay, so this is...
Growing older is inevitable.
This is a satellite imagery of Beryl presently. Let me try and get this on screen. So I can zoom in over here so look a bit. See? So very organized. The core of the system is extremely well condensed and organized. The eye wall, not the eye wall, the eye of the system very defined. And that area around the eye, which is in red, is the area that packs the most intense winds, the most catastrophic flooding potential from rainfall. And if you look, Barbados out here, I need to turn on the pointer on my mouse, you know. But I know most I don't know where Barbados is located, because I know on a bright like that. So Barbados out here, Tobago down here, Trinidad, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, all those areas are currently dealing with at least tropical storm force winds. I can imagine a lot of rainfall as well. So if there is a situation where anybody is able to communicate from any of these islands presently, let us know what the situation on the ground is. Vinette Arts, I am anxious for your broadcast, your mode of giving information, and you are an islander. Blessings, Lady Vinette. I hope you are safe. Not sure where you are. Vendetta Boss, big up yourself in the family. It is in St. Vincent presently. Kurt Neil Matthias. Kurt Neil, what going on, bro? You are currently in St. Vincent. Father Delroy Stewart. Blessings. Monica Willis is going to be another Gilbert. Sir Mike C. It is going to hit Jamaica. We will talk about the Jamaica. It is too early now to treat with the Jamaica situation. I am Julian. Blessings Morning Teach. Oh, Julian is watching over on Twitch. Yeah, so I stream on Twitch, I stream on Facebook, I stream on YouTube, and I stream on Twitter simultaneously. Only place I don't stream currently, that's a major platform, is Instagram. I guess we'll get there eventually when they make it possible without jumping through some hoops. So big up to the people and wherever you're watching. Currently, let me know where you are located, my brother Zane. So that is the situation currently. So look, it says Hurricane Beryl is slamming into the eastern Caribbean islands with dangerous winds, storm surge, and heavy rain. Lady Vinette is in Brooklyn. Blessings, my sister. I really and truly appreciate the support. And thing. So this is now the potential track of Beryl going into tomorrow after it moves over the Windward and out into the eastern Caribbean basin. I know many people in Jamaica are, anxious as to whether or not we will treat with the system. If you pay attention to the Jamaican situation, you realize that the cone has slightly shifted south. We were, for the past couple of hours, 24, 36 hours, within the northern boundary of the projected cone. It is shifting a little bit south. I'll kind of explain to you why that is happening, which is an excellent thing. But we need to look a little bit closer at the system before we do that. So let me see if I can find something here. Sorry, guys. So this here is a close-up look at where the system is, what it is doing. So as at 8 a.m. this morning, the location of Beryl was 12 degrees north latitude, 60.5 degrees west longitude, with maximum sustained winds of 130 miles per hour. That's a lot of wind. That's very intense wind. And that is maximum sustained wind. So the system is sustaining winds up to 130 miles per hour. And after that now, you can even have stronger gusts. So while it is sustaining winds at 130, you may have areas where the gust is probably 135, probably even 140 miles per hour. So bear that in mind. The forward motion of the system is currently at 20 miles per hour, and it is moving west northwest. 20 miles per hour is extremely good. That means the system is moving quickly, so it won't sit over the Windward Islands for a protracted period of time, dumping rain and battering infrastructure and property. So even though it is a massive hurricane in terms of intensity, and the destruction will be severe in places like Barbados and Tobago, and the southern Windward Islands, so probably from St. Lucia go down to Grenada, which would have involved St. Vincent and the Grenadines, those areas will likely experience significant damage to property, severe flooding, and I hope it doesn't go beyond that. Places like Trinidad, and then you have the Dominicas and the Martinique, and probably even Guadeloupe, possibly experiencing also very, very adverse weather conditions and more than likely flooding in those areas. Not sure what the wind situation will be like. So it is not looking good for a lot of the islands in the southern eastern Caribbean. It is really and truly not looking good. Right, Dwight, that is a good way of saying it. Blessings, Sanomatic, manners and respect. Even in Guadeloupe right now, the weather change, big rainfall. Blessings, Mr. Chad, you know, what go on, bro? Hope you're good, you know. How does it look for Jamaica? D. Hamilton, just give me a minute, let me get around to there. Young sons, big up yourself. So Mr. Chad is in Guadeloupe, and he's saying that he is, well, it is, the weather condition there has changed and has deteriorated significantly in recent times. So you can just imagine what is happening in Grenada, prior to Grenada, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Tobago, and Barbados, and all the islands that are currently being affected directly by the effects of Hurricane Beryl. 130 miles per hour is no joke. It really is. At no point in time is that something to scoff at. The potential damage could be catastrophic, to be honest with you. I hope that these islands, the infrastructure is able to withstand sustain 130 miles per hour winds for as long as possible. As I said, the silver lining in all of this is that the system is moving very quickly at 20 miles per hour. That is, I wish it was 25 miles or more. Generally they don't move that fast still, but I'm just saying it would be a blessing despite the situation that currently obtains. You understand? So yeah, hold on, let me fix up here. So it's a light there, so I forgot to plug it in last time, so it a flicker like a Christmas. So if we go out for, and again, let me point out something before I move on. If you realize that where the system is now, or was at 8 a.m., and as it's treating with the Windward Islands, you realize that the cone is relatively small, but as it gets further and further out in the week and in the Caribbean basin, the cone widens. Why? It is easier for meteorologists using information from hurricane hunters, which flies into the system to measure wind speed and barometric pressure and all of these things, it is easier for projection and predictions closer to the system. So as as the cone moves out, it becomes a little bit more difficult for meteorologists to tell you exactly what the system will be doing come Tuesday night and Wednesday. So the cone opens up, and the cone is normally an indication of where the system could go. So anywhere between these lines that demarcates the cone, it means that the system has a potential to go there. So it can stick to the northern boundary, it can stick to the southern boundary, it can stick to the middle line, or it can move anywhere in between. So if you are in the projected cone, it means that the possibility for you to be impacted by the hurricane directly, or hurricane conditions, or tropical storm conditions is a possibility, is likely. So bear that in mind. So Jamaica, and if you realize even the southern coast of Hispaniola, which is Haiti and Dominican Republic, they are on a tropical storm watch. So it means that in the next in hours down the road, 48 probably hours or so, they may start experiencing tropical storm conditions. Jamaica will not reach there so yet. However, based on what the cone is suggesting, and if you realize again, and you have been tracking the system, the cone has shifted a bit south, right? As Jamaica was totally inside the cone up to last night. But based on what has happened since, based on upper atmospheric condition and surface condition out in the Caribbean basin and close to the Windward Islands, it is now a situation where the cone has been pushed a little bit further south, and I'll probably show you or kind of try to explain what is happening there. Remember, I was telling you yesterday that one of the concerning factors is that the system kind of currently has a clear run. There was nothing there to slow it down, to divert its path, because there was no wind shear, there was no Saharan dust, and there is no large landmass or mountainous region for it to pass, to kind of pull the storm apart or to divert its movement. So that has changed slightly since we had that conversation. What remains true though is that the waters of the Caribbean basin is very warm. Well, are very warm, just like out in the Atlantic Ocean. So that is part of the Jamaican context. Let me see if I can bring some more context as we go along. As it changed path, is it still a threat to Jamaica? Lady Nikki, give me kind of a treat with that now. I can't tell you yes or no specifically. I'm just sharing the facts with you so you can get a better assessment. Remember, I'm not a meteorologist, just somebody who kind of, comfortable with the content matter, seeing as something I teach. So let's go again. So here, let's go down here. So when you look at this, so there is now a Saharan air layer, Saharan dust that is now entering into the region. If you look Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, you realize that there is now some Saharan dust that is there, and as such, what the Saharan dust will do is to limit the system's ability to move northwest. So it is keeping it further down. So that is why the track is being pushed further down, and Jamaica is now a little bit outside the northern boundary. Again, let me try to explain that. What the Saharan dust layer is doing, it is causing now the system's ability to move northwards. It is reducing that, and it is pushing it or keeping it further down. So the track is kind of being shifted further down. That is why the northern boundary of Jamaica is kind of outside of the track now. See it? So that is one of the reasons why the track has shifted slightly and may continue to shift slightly. There is still no great wind shear present in the upper atmosphere, but that could change within a few hours. So that is not a situation that will remain static for any protracted period of time. So that can change. So that is why the situation now is that the projected cone has shifted slightly south. So Jamaica is starting to come out of the cone a little bit, still inside it predominantly, but fit Jamaican girl. I'm a high school teacher of geography and a fit Jamaican girl. So this is kind of in my wheelhouse, you know. And we kind of do these things for a whole heap of years. So, you know what I mean? You know, really, that's challenging for me. Yeah, man. Professor Gorgeous Lady. Good morning, my dear. How are you? Send calling from Georgia, USA. Blessings, Lady Cindy. How are you? Blessed. Mr. Mac, Northern Trinidad. May have some friends over there. Them say hurricane a kick for real. Okay. Some place lost electricity already, Jaja. As it. Yes. So let's continue. So that is why this cone, and again, so let me explain something again with the cone. What the cone is technically a projected path that the hurricane can travel within. So again, when you're seeing this cone here, let me go back over where I did the first over here. So when you look at this, so the cone, it widens as it goes out in the future because meteorologists are unable with any specificity or accuracy tell you exactly where the hurricane will travel. So there's a cone of possibility. The system can travel anywhere within this cone. The northern boundary, the southern boundary, the center line, or anywhere in between. Right? Up to last night, Jamaica was fully inside the cone. If you realize now, the northern coastline almost entirely of Jamaica is now outside the northern boundary of the cone. Why? Because the cone has been pushed a little bit further south because of the Saharan air layer that is currently in the region. That is a blessing. So, see the Saharan air layer here? So this is what is now, if you look between the Leeward Islands, go out to southern Cuba, you realize that there's a lot of dust there. Well, not a lot of dust compared to off the coast of Africa, but enough dust to kind of force the projected path of the system further south. Because what the air layer will do is to prevent the system from going north or northwest, keeping it there. So that is what Saharan dust does, or wind shear. But the wind shear presently is not very great, but the Saharan dust is here to kind of help to salvage the situation, I suspect. Unfortunately, it was not the case leading up to the Windward Islands, and they are now treating with the direct impact of a Category 4 hurricane. That is really and truly terrible. But one of the things that you need to bear in mind also, here it says oceanic content. Remember that the fuel for a hurricane is warm waters. The warmer the waters, the greater possibility for intensification and sustenance of that intensity within an earthquake. If you look in the Caribbean basin, look just south of Jamaica, look at that color and look at the key here. It is telling you that the temperature is very high. Not as high as it could be because there's no red or pink, but this brownish, probably ladies can tell you which color that, yellowish brownish color. Yeah, so the ladies, them know about color. Zine, but you realize that the waters, Jamaica's territorial waters, especially to the south, is very conducive for hurricanes. Zin, teacher, I am wonderful and happy awaiting results in CXC. I hope that the results will be what you hope they are. And you know, everybody will be happy. Yeah, man, I know them ways. Big up yourself. Zin, so we are still nowhere out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination. Why? Because there are heat pockets close enough to Jamaica that can lead to rapid intensification, possibly. The models currently are suggesting, though, that the system will progressively weaken as it approaches Jamaica. How much will it weaken? It is now Category 4, so weaken doesn't mean a Category 3, doesn't mean a Category 2, doesn't mean a Category... It's still a little bit too early. Now we are starting to see spaghetti model product projection of the system. So these are different projections and different models. So there are two that is taking the system directly across Jamaica. There's a sky blue line and a pinkish reddish line, probably, I don't know, burgundy, probably not so dark. But there are two lines, there are two models that are predicting that the system could, the passage of the system could take it directly across Jamaica, hence a direct hit. How strong will the system be at that time? We don't know, right? But then there are other models that are taking the system south, even further south, probably hundreds of miles south of Jamaica. So again, still early days. It is very important to keep an eye on the Saharan dust layer and how long it will remain and how much of it will accumulate within the Hispaniola eastern area, east of Jamaica area, and even south of Jamaica, because that will keep the system further south. If it remains there, hopefully it does. So a lot of things to be considered. So currently, is the system going to impact Jamaica directly? I can't tell you that. I am not able to tell you that. Even the meteorologists who are the experts are not able to tell us. What they have done is given us an idea of where the system may go by creating a possible cone of travel for the system. Again, the cone means that the system can travel anywhere within and along the boundaries of that cone. Anywhere. The good thing now is that the cone has shifted further south. So it is slowly moving south of Jamaica. That is great news. Hopefully within the next couple of hours, this cone would have shifted totally away from Jamaica. And we'll give thanks to that. But unfortunately, presently, our brothers in the Eastern Caribbean are not so lucky, and I fear that in a couple of hours, say 5-6 hours, probably 7 to 10 hours time, the picture will start to emerge of the level of destruction in places like Barbados, Tobago, Trinidad, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, Dominica. It is not going to be good. It can't be good. The pictures tell you the full story. This is a system that is packing maximum sustained winds of 130 miles per hour. That is serious business. The core of the storm is so organized and so strong that it is the area around the eye of the hurricane, which is the eye wall. That is where the greatest intensity and sustenance of wind and production of rainfall occurs. This is bad, right? And then when you look at Grenada here, Grenada will be experiencing eye wall conditions for a long time, because as the system rotates, I don't even want to talk about that. It's really and truly not looking good. And then even so, the outer bands of the system will, because look at it. Currently, you have places like, as I said, Dominica, Martinique, St. Lucia, they are currently under hurricane warning. Then you have St. Vincent and the Grenadines down to Grenada. All those islands within the Grenadines and Grenada, Barbados and Trinidad, they are on hurricane warning that they are currently treating with hurricane conditions. Yeah, while Trinidad, St. Lucia, Martinique, they are treating with, at this time, I'm sure, tropical storm condition. It is. This is not good peace. Let me just put it that way there. It is really and truly. Eve's parsley blessings. Yeah, you know what thing here in the family. Yeah, man. In Antigua is one of the major fears, but I can't follow up that right now. Scrap that. When I do it, family, no, it don't look good. As I said, so Lady Millicent, how are you? Teach, good morning. What's nothing now going for Jamaica right now in Miss McDermott, but we are still in the cone of possibility. The cone has shifted further south since last night, which is a plus because there's no Saharan air layer that is kind of pushing the system further south, or the projected cone further south, so that is good. So as I've been saying, the true Jamaican context will not start to emerge until the next 24-36 hours after the system passes over the Windward Islands and move into the Eastern Caribbean basin, and what is the atmospheric conditions like in front of the system. What is the Saharan dust air layer doing at the time? Will there be wind shear developing? So there are many things that are currently at play, or will come in play that will determine what the Jamaican situation is. The prediction, hold on, as we said prediction, let me kind of show you something. So I can't find it. There's a thing. Alright, so I probably can use this until I find another one. So here, Lady Millicent and all those other persons who are asking, so if you realize by Wednesday, so the system is currently packing maximum sustained winds of 130 miles per hour. By Wednesday, early Wednesday morning, it is predicted that those wind speeds would have dropped at least 20 miles per hour. So the system would be weakening somewhat on its approach to Jamaica, whether close to Jamaica or far from Jamaica. And how much more will it? We don't know. But the system will not be as strong as it approaches Jamaican waters or close to Jamaica or south of Jamaica. We'll have to wait and see exactly how it will approach, where it will go before, you understand. But it is predicted that the system will be downgraded to at least a category 2 system when it is influencing weather across Jamaica. But how close the system will be is has not been decided as yet because of how far out the system is and what is happening in the upper atmosphere and with the Saharan dust layer and with possible wind shear developing by them. So it is kind of too early to determine what will be the fate of Jamaica, except to say that there will be adverse weather conditions. So whichever way we take, at least some more rain are going to fall about here. You understand what I'm saying? How bad will it be? I don't know. Jaja, no, I can only hope. Blessings, DeAndre. Yeah, brother. Look good cross them part there, brother. Especially in the Windward Islands right now, the southern Windward Islands. It is not. It's crazy. Zine, so that is the situation. As again, this is a clear satellite imagery of what is currently happening and this was about 40 or so minutes ago. It is crazy. We have to just hope for the best. Yeah. So that is the situation. As I said, this site is still telling me not to use this as a final decision, but some of the spaghetti tracks are now emerging, and you see one is suggesting that it may. I saw another model that says two spaghetti lines were suggesting that it may pass directly over Jamaica. So, and then most of them are south of Jamaica. We will have to just wait and see. It is a little bit too early. I know you may watch other videos and people tell us that Jamaica go mash up. I can't tell you that. That would be irresponsible of me. And also based on my years of teaching geography and studying hurricanes to a level, I could not tell you what is going to happen to Jamaica in 3 days down the road. 2.5 days down the road. That would be irresponsible of me. And then I would be pretending to be something that I'm not. I am not a meteorologist. I just have a little bit of knowledge as to how these things work. That is all. So let me see if I can bring this down a little bit. So this is satellite imagery of what is going on out in the Windward Islands presently. The Grenada situation here is so rough because as the system spiral, they're almost getting probably 180 degrees rotation of the eye wall. Like it is, and then it is the southwestern section of the eye wall, which based on this is packing some crazy amount of energy. Then you have Saint Vincent and whoa, it's rough. Because even Barbados is getting some effects of the outer part of the core of the system. This rough, peeps. Like, not to be an alarmist or anything, but it's there for you to see. This is not good. You understand? Just look on how the eye rests on one of these islands in the southern Grenadines. Like the amount of wind and rainfall that little island just above Grenada is currently experiencing is crazy. My auntie says she got spare with any significant damage. I hope saying, bro. Grenada is basically in the firing line. Like what Grenada is experiencing is nothing short of horrific at this point in time. And also even the Saint Vincent itself, they are a little bit better off than Grenada. But then you have islands in the Grenadines that are going to be ripped apart. It is really and truly just what it is. It is not good. Yeah. And let me look up here, so try to bring back this up here, so so yeah, let's see what the Met Office is saying, which is our Met Office, that is Jamaica's Meteorological Service. Let me see if I can share that. And this was 12 minutes ago. So the government of Jamaica will issue a hurricane watch. So Jamaica now is being placed on a hurricane watch. So the government of Jamaica will issue a hurricane watch for the island at 10. So just a moment ago, the hurricane watch was issued. It's now 2 minutes past 10 this morning. This means that conditions associated with a hurricane are possible within 48 hours. So a hurricane watch means that hurricane conditions or tropical storm conditions basically may start to affect the island within the next 48 hours. 2 days. Hurricane Beryl has now entered the Eastern Caribbean, and Jamaica is a threat of impact on Wednesday this week. So it is big. The picture is starting to become a little bit clearer now. So let's open this. That somebody asked them about something we can't get into right now. And earlier they had tweeted again and said that fishers should now be arriving in port as Hurricane Beryl strengthens and enters the Eastern Caribbean. So maximum sustained winds have increased to near 215 kilometers per hour or 130 miles per hour with higher gusts. So Beryl is again a Category 4 hurricane and the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale. And the Meteorological Service continues to monitor the progress of Hurricane Beryl. Everyone is encouraged to pay special attention to further releases. And the next bulletin on the system will be issued at 11 today. Jeremy Thompson, blessings my brother. You know, I appreciate the support as well. The live stream was terrifying before it cut off. Saw a few roofs disappear. Oh, there was a live stream from one of the islands. NSN 876. Which one of the islands was the live stream coming from? Coolers left Vinci in time. For Vinci people. Wow. Yeah. Oh, from Grenada. Yeah, Grenada is in a lot of trouble. Based on what we were looking at just now, as we said, Grenada is in a lot of trouble. So is St. Vincent, so is Tobago. Yeah, we are, because when we're talking about, look at Tobago here. Tobago is basically in the southeastern, southern, southwestern section of the core of the system, you know. So they are also going to have, whoa. So yes, we're focusing on Grenada and St. but Tobago and Barbados and St. Lucia, Dominica, Barbados, Trinidad, all these areas will have significant damage as the hours pass. Yeah. Set away, the stream cut off, and yeah, the power probably went out. Sunshine Culture, blessings, my friend. Saying looking good. So, yeah. So I just gave you an update on the Jamaican situation as well. We are now under hurricane watch. When hurricane conditions are expected to affect the island in less than 24 hours, that watch will now be upgraded to a hurricane warning. That is kind of how the warning system works. Must get some battery in this by now. And get some light on my face. Like. You understand? That's a thing there, you know, of people. Let me, for the people who are just joining, let me go back through something really Jamaican context. Here, I'm not hear my screen. Up to last night, Jamaica was still fully within the possible cone of influence from the system. Let me try and zoom. Crap. Whoa. I want to go on. Okay. So Jamaica was in the possible cone of impact. We're gone. But now you realize that the northern boundary of Jamaica has moved outside of the cone, as the cone has shifted a little bit further south. And as I was explaining to you, the presence or the anticipation of Saharan dust is what is influencing that. As you realize, a large plume of Saharan dust has recently or is expected to leave the coast of Africa and make its way across the region. So that is what is influencing the modification or the alteration in the cone itself. And there is some wind shear that is expected within the next couple of hours that will also further determine what will happen to the system as it makes its way across the Eastern Caribbean basin into the Greater Antilles. Presently, the southern section of Hispaniola, which is Dominica and Haiti together, are on a tropical storm watch. So we continue to wait and see what the full picture for Jamaica will be. As I said, that will become a little bit clearer in the coming hours. Also in the coming hours, we will start to get a better understanding of what really is the aftermath in the Windward Islands, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago. I can tell you that it won't be pretty, especially in places like Grenada and St. Vincent. It is... Judge, I don't even want to talk about that. Yeah, so there you go again. And I was showing you earlier a satellite rotating imagery of the system. And when you look at the black and white and some gray, some pink is in there, that is where the greatest impact, that is the eye wall of the system. And as it continues that classic hurricane rotation, the eye wall is beat in some places almost in 360 degree. Yeah, and that is crazy. You understand? Crazy. See, not so long ago, the edge of the eye was resting on this island in the southern Grenadines. That island, after full rotation, is kind of in the eye of the storm now. So they are now experiencing severe winds and rainfall in a couple of seconds, and then a couple of seconds later they're experiencing calm because they are on the edge of the eye wall and the eye. So horrific calm. And hurricanes are amazing things in one way, and then destructive forces of nature in other ways. So yeah, the Jamaican situation, as again, we are now under hurricane watch, meaning that hurricane conditions may start affecting the island within the next 48 hours. Again, it is no cause for doom and gloom predictions. What it is, though, is that we need to be mindful, be alert, get ourselves together, because it is still a few days out. It is expected to influence us greatest on Wednesday. So there is still all of today, Monday, tomorrow, Tuesday. I suspect into Tuesday night, heading into Wednesday morning is when now we will start to treat with most of the effects that we will get. How bad, we don't know as yet, because it is still too early to decide exactly what is going to happen. We are getting hit now in green. Raider, blessings family. I am glad that you are able to communicate from within the Grenada. I am assuming you are. So that is good. So the entire island is not totally cut off. But how bad is it, though, Nation, Raider Nation 473? How bad is it? It is storm season. Anything can happen. Monica Ellis, yes, that's true. When the dust comes, we would have less rain. Not just less rain, but the dust will also prevent the system from moving in certain places. So if the dust is here, it will keep the system below. You understand? Really bad. Jaja, I hope you and your family will be able to ride out this, bro. And also, I sincerely hope that, I know there will be destruction. There's no two ways about that. There will be a lot of infrastructural damage and property damage. But I hope there will be no loss of lives. The infrastructure and property can always be replaced. Few houses gone long time. I can imagine. We're talking about 130 miles per hour, with probably even stronger gusts. So it was never in question as to what the damage going to look like. It's just, I hope that there will be no reports of lives being lost or any serious injuries and thing. The good thing, though, Nation 473, is that the system is moving. The forward motion of the system is very quick at 20 miles per hour, which is very quick in hurricane context. So it means that the system won't be over the island for any too long of a period. So we still give thanks to that. Happy that you are able to communicate out. Means that some infrastructure is still standing up, and we give thanks to that. Hopefully that remains the case, but I can just imagine how the thing will look after. As I said, I sincerely hope that there will be no reports of lives being lost, because the question of property damage is not even a question anymore. That is, see there, it goes without saying. Yeah. But big up yourself, bro. Let's go and hold it, and we're there. If there's anybody within these areas who are able to make calls I am not opposed to accepting a few calls. So just let me know and we can speak directly via phone. And we'll see what go on. Alright, let me just get some things from, I think probably have some things from the Met Office, so let me see if we can get those downloaded. Well, I may not get it directly from the Met Office, but I get it from my videographer who was probably there. So let's see if we can download those files and see if we can get them played. See what go on. Yeah, so yeah, this is gone a long time. So peeps, let me know where you are watching from, if you are in the Eastern Caribbean, any at all, and what is the current situation like in those places. If you also have any friends or relatives in countries that are being directly affected, have you been able to communicate with these folks? And if so, what is the situation like presently? So, let's see. Let me see what is.
The center of the system is further from the south coast, moving it.
So this is Evan Thompson,
Evan,
the Minister of Water or something. All right, so let me see. Oh, these look.
Minister, and good evening to everyone.
Preview mode.
I will basically take you through.
All right, so let me see if I can get Evan a little bit bigger. All right, so this is head of the Meteorological Service of Jamaica, Evan Thompson. See if we can get the volume up. Let's
Minister,
go.
And good evening to everyone. I will
let me know if you're hearing.
Take you through where we are with this system and give you an idea of what we should be expecting with respect to Hurricane Beryl that is over the waters of the tropical Atlantic, moving closer and closer to the Eastern Caribbean and therefore into the Caribbean Sea. Here we see the latest satellite imagery that is showing the center of the system very clearly in the middle of that dense overcast of clouds, and it is moving toward the west. Barbados is that island, the closest island to that center, but the system is moving westward, and so is expected to move somewhat to the south of Barbados, between Barbados and Tobago, then entering the Caribbean Sea, and that is likely to start early on Monday morning. Now, what we are seeing here is an extremely dangerous hurricane. It is already at Category 4 and it is approaching the Windward Islands. There are life-threatening winds, there is storm surge that is expected. And at 5 o'clock, the center was located over about 500 kilometers from Barbados. It is moving westward with a central pressure of 960, which shows that it is a very intense system. The lower the pressure means the stronger the system is. Now, this is what the latest track projection looks like. The numbers that you're seeing on the left side of the screen really are pinpointing where those black dots on the map are located. And it indicates that the system right now is centered over the Atlantic Ocean, as we can see all the way to the right-hand side of your picture. That yellow circle shows the overcast of that hurricane that is moving westward. It is already at Category 4, which means it is a major hurricane, moving toward the west-northwest really, which is just a little bit north of due west. It is expected to enter the Caribbean by Monday morning, and then during the afternoon it will continue through into the Caribbean, going into the Central Caribbean during the day on Tuesday. Now, it is expected to remain south of Puerto Rico and Hispaniola during Tuesday, and then as we move to Wednesday, that's when the approach is likely to be much closer to Jamaica. If you look on the left side, those two lines that are highlighted in red show where the positions are. The one at 2 a.m. on the right side shows the 60-hour projection, where the winds are expected to be at about 115 miles per hour. Now, that would characterize it as a Category 3 hurricane. As we move to the 72 hours, which takes the center now to the 2 p.m. Or after 2 p.m. on Wednesday, it would then reduce the wind speed to 110 miles per hour, which would be at Category 2. Now, what this means is that as the system is moving westward, what is being projected now is that there will be a bit of weakening of the system, and that is because the conditions in the Western Caribbean are not as conducive to the development as it has been over the Atlantic and will be in the Eastern Caribbean. So they are expecting that there will be some weakening. How much weakening is not very sure, because at the end of this forecast period, the accuracy is likely to shift from time to time, because it is not as sure the farther you are from the time that the prediction is made. So it is possible, because of how that cone is shown on the right side, the center of that system, although it is pinpointed in the middle of the cone, it could be on the right side end or on the left side end of that cone. So the center could be farther from the south coast of Jamaica, or it could be over the waters to the north of Jamaica as well by the time it passes us. So right now, there is some play of uncertainty as to exactly where that center will be. However, the black dot showing the H at 2 p.m. on Wednesday is showing where the most likely position would be based on the forecast at this point in time. This could change as we move forward. Now, just to point out where the strength of the winds are located, as we see that a Category 2 hurricane goes up to 100.
People, they don't know system couldn't do
The
whatever
center
they
of
do.
the system is further from the south coast, moving it more over the Caribbean Sea and away from the land areas. So that is something that we are hoping we'll see develop over the next day or two. At this point in time, we have not declared that this is a threat to Jamaica. It could very well pose to be a threat. Right now, as the minister said, this is a risk that we have to manage. Tomorrow morning, first thing in the morning, we'll be able to assess this and determine whether now we consider it a threat, now that it is about entering the Caribbean region, and whether there is a sustainability in the forecast models that are projecting the system, and whether it maintains the position as it is showing at this time. So the three main messages that we want to leave with is that right now this is an extremely dangerous Category 4 hurricane that is moving into the Western Islands, the Windward Islands, sorry. Very dangerous situation, especially for the islands of the Eastern Caribbean, the Leewards in particular. And then it is a potentially catastrophic hurricane with very strong winds. Life-threatening storm surge is possible, damaging waves likely, very heavy rainfall as well. And number 3 point shows that the heavy rainfall and localized rainfall will extend through the Windward Islands. And the 4th point shows that Jamaica is also at risk of that heavy rainfall as the system moves closer and closer to us. Not just the heavy rainfall, but the strong winds associated with a hurricane and all the other complexities with storm surge and landslides and all these other things that normally come, the hazards that come along with hurricane activity. So that is basically where we are right now in terms of what we are expecting with the system moving closer. We're still hoping that the projections moving forward will show further weakening, likely in the Central Caribbean, but it will also show a drift away from the southern coastline. That is the best case scenario. But the worst case, which is what we should prepare ourselves for, is having a major hurricane moving right across the island of Jamaica on Wednesday. Thank you.
Then peeps, on the talk it true. You don't sound like a me attack.
Okay, Evan. I won't be long. Ultimately, Category 1 is some damage. Category 2 is extensive damage. Category 3 is devastating damage. And a Category 4 is catastrophic damage. Country needs to be very clear that we are at risk of some damage. The storm is not yet landed in the Windward Islands, but the tracks and the varying models, I believe 12 models have shown it interacting with Jamaica at some level and some degree. It's not a time for panic, it's a time for preparation. This preparation will not be wasted. Whatever you invest in this preparation will benefit you should the storm impact us negatively. Tomorrow morning, the government will convene its Disaster Risk Coordination Committee at the Ministry of Local Government, and Minister Mackenzie will give updates from that meeting. Post that meeting, that grouping will also brief the Cabinet at 11 a.m. I expect the Prime Minister to speak once he has received that briefing and the situation is indeed clear. As Evan says, we are hoping for the best, but we're asking you to prepare for the worst. And of course, we have no shame in calling out our prayer warriors, and though our agencies are doing what they can, we ask our prayer warriors to do what they also can. So, members of the media, we are going to close now unless there are any questions. If there are any questions, we'll take them briefly and allow you to catch media time.
Big up to my videographer. Not too call his name still, because we not too load up the things still. But big up yourself, bro. Yeah, work. You understand? So that is a press conference from the Ministry of Mining, Economic and Job Creation. I think water falls under that as well, and some other things. And the head of the Meteorological Service of Jamaica, Evan Thompson, he would have basically, give a synopsis of what we have been discussing from last night into now. So, yeah, big up on yourself, peeps. I will probably stream again twice for the day. Probably do a 1 o'clock update, 2 o'clock update, and probably, 7, 8 o'clock. I will also go and prepare this video to be posted from when I just play a phone, so I when I get it first. But that is the situation. Just by way of a quick recap, let's look again at what is currently the situation out in the Windward Islands. This is what the satellite imagery at 10:10 this morning looked like. It tells you everything you need to. I don't need to tell you anything from this picture. Only thing I probably could tell you is the name of some of those islands that are being impacted. So yeah, very strong category 4 weather alert. So yeah, very, very strong, bordering a category 5 system. So we spoke about the cone and what it means or could mean. Evan Thompson also kind of broke it down a little bit more just now. And all of these things also, this is a current situation of what is to be expected or in the Eastern Caribbean, in the Windward Islands, up to Dominica. And as I suggest that probably places like Guadeloupe will also be experiencing adverse weather conditions as well. Just like places in northern Guyana, really, on the northern edge of South America there. So it is, the spaghetti models are now emerging. We're seeing where 2 of those lines are suggesting possible direct impact for Jamaica. There's a yellow line that is very close to the south coast, and then there are other lines which are showing it further south of Jamaica. So still early, as Evan said, probably tomorrow morning at this time, we will now have a concrete picture of what the Jamaican situation will look like or may look like come Wednesday. So we're looking at that. One of the reasons why the projected cone has been shifted further south is the anticipation that a Saharan air layer will be in the northern Caribbean or the greater Antilles by the time the system is approaching Jamaica. And also there may also be some wind shear about at that time again. Another thing is that the northern Caribbean is, in terms of relief and topography, are more mountainous islands than in the Eastern Caribbean. So a lot of things are at play. However, the temperature of the Caribbean Sea in and around Jamaica is very concerning. You know that warm waters is what hurricane thrives on, and there's a lot of warm water to the southeast of Jamaica and south of Jamaica, also to the directly east of Jamaica. So we see what all of these things add up to mean and be, and we will talk again soon. Lady Melva Spence, how are you? It's good to see you. Nick, so I go on. Grace Linton, blessings, my friend. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Lady Yvonne Francis. Sabi Art Story, my German friend, how are you? It's good to see you. Raider Nation, go on, hold it, my G. Hopefully we can talk again, look more. And Chungy, big up yourself in a broski. Appreciate the continued support. You understand? Chungy said, teach you the best weather report. Then we take that. You understand what I said? Then, you know what I mean? Update and things. Lady Monica Willis, everybody who was here or is in here, big up on yourself. If you're in the Windward Islands or close to the sphere of influence of the system, stay safe. Prayers continue to go out for brothers in Grenada, Tobago, Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and all the islands that are being severely impacted by the system. The truth of the matter is that this will be very bad, and in a few hours time we'll start to get an idea of how bad this has been or is currently going on in the Windward Islands. It is not good. It can't be good. So above all, as I said, I hope there will be no loss of lives, but we know that the destruction to property and infrastructure will be significant, especially in places like St. Vincent and Grenada. It will be bad. So we hope that there's no loss of life. And thing, words to live by. Blessings in the family. Only 10 more miles per hour, and it's a category 5. I hope it don't reach here, so bro. To be honest, well, our sis, I don't know weather alert. The person behind the page, what gender, but big up yourself. So I appreciate you dropping by as well and thing. I guess probably need to come across your page, come see what go on what they said speed. I know what thing go. Big up on yourself in the peeps. Soon again, sometime in the day, in the afternoon. Zane, I don't look a father in there now because my son man they home from school and them so well I don't want to feel before me look a father in, so I'm gonna wait look a bit like and these things after me done the look a father in, me link on the back, then the look more father in and sitting and then me link on the back look more again. I don't know what I think of peeps. Big up on yourself. And then something there, Zane. Me just have some camera about the place, so me just kinda I use. The camera is really my news camera still, but I'm not really reading the news on camera right now, so I kind of use it. So this is one camera I used to stream with for a long time. You understand? You know, this is my main camera. This here. Zane show my fat face and then this here. So, I want overhead camera one night and I want next. Be a camera here, man. You understand? I need to set up a thing where a camera them can switch automatically probably after 1-2 minutes or so. When I don't have to do no work. Or I need to get to a switcher where I probably need to stop using my switcher. I'm using an 8M Mini Pro now. So I have to switch with my hand. I probably need to use, I probably want HD 60S both the place and both two camlink. So I probably need to set that when I can use my foot pedal fit. I don't know. When I have the time, I do some things there, man. Peace, big up on yourself. I'm going to do one quick video for Shabbat and them something. I'll see you guys later. Prayers continue to go up for our brothers and sisters in Grenada, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, Dominica, St. Lucia, probably Guadeloupe, probably even Northern Guyana, because we can't ignore that. Big up to it. Look like it's a million. I tell you, say I want about 2 more, you know. A 4, man, but we need an overhead camera. Our next camera up on the side, I forget the angle here. You understand? Me just, when it come on to technology, I kind of, you know, do some things both time and idle. So I just start going. Well, peeps, look more ass. I mean, soon. Go and hold it. You understand? Now what about Sadara? Big up yourself, you know. DJ Easy, big up yourself, you know, brother. Look more. Lady Vinette, manners and respect. And we talk look more. Father Errol Stewart, guidance peeps. Soon look more. I'm out.